Señora del Camino, muéstrame la vía para llegar al Padre, al lado de tu Hijo.
Well, hello everyone. I'm sat in a square overlooking the side of Burgos Cathedral, the chapter house side by the looks of it. I look one way, that's where the cathedral is. I look the other way, I can see the balcony of the room that I'm staying in nearby in an albergue. Tonight back in a dormitory. Last night was a treat night in a hotel, but now it's back. There's about 10 people in the dorm, I think. But I'm very happy with that. And for those of you who are wondering what the things cost, well, this albergue for 2 nights, because I've got an arrest day tomorrow, is €45. I've paid €15 for a bed, so it just depends. I'm very happy with it because it's a bottom bunk, and I've also got a PowerPoint and a light above me, a reading lamp. So that's all I need. And I've had a shower, and tomorrow I'll be finding a laundrette, catch up on the washing, and there's one a few hundred metres away, and there's a supermarket nearby as well. I'd had this crazy idea I might see if there was a health club nearby. I could treat myself to a couple of hours in the jacuzzi, but serves me right, I can't find one, and I'm sure medieval pilgrims didn't have that privilege, so there you go. It was a nice idea that kept me going at some stage today, but now I'm here and I'm sat in beautiful sunshine. It is a beautiful afternoon here, not too hot, but just perfect really, and it wasn't like that on the run-in, so that was great. So now you see. So last night, yes, I was at it was a treat in the hotel. I met another pilgrim from America at lunchtime while I was waiting for the room to be ready. It's a cafeteria bar area, and so we got chatting about things. And then I ended up saying, oh, well, I'm celebrating Mass this evening because there isn't one in the church in town I'd checked. And I invited her to join me, and then Michael came to join me. I've mentioned him a couple of times, I think, to you. So we celebrated Mass, which was great. And then had a pilgrim meal at the hotel. So again, if you're wondering what things cost, you get pilgrim meals can be anything from €13 to €18. And they're usually a 3-course meal with lots of carbohydrates and lots of protein. In fact, I got lunch yesterday at the hotel for €9. It was a piece of chicken. It was a small amount of spaghetti bolognese and a fried egg. But it did the job. So it's very different sort of eating to normal, but I'm trying to make sure that I eat enough, because again today burnt off a lot of calories, so that's part of it with the pilgrim menus. They're lovely, and then it's nice to have a change from them every so often as well. There's a kitchen here, so maybe tomorrow night I might go to the supermarket nearby and cook something for myself that I'm a bit more used to. But if not, that's absolutely fine, part of pilgrimage. So then I had a good night's sleep, was up early for prayers, breakfast, and then on the way, it's always when you've got a lovely room, you've got to just say, right, well that's it, but I've got to keep moving now. And it was cold to begin with, but then it was beautiful. It was completely different to the last 2 days. The last 2 days, I realised after today's run, for me, were tough. And they were tough because they're completely different to the sort of running I normally do. And that constant wind against, strong wind against, yesterday for all the 27 kilometres, with a lot of it get along the motorway. Yeah, and it poured then, to be fair, actually. After I'd finished, the weather was a lot worse. Some poor chap came in at about 5:30, so that's about 6 hours after I'd finished. He'd been walking all day, he was absolutely drenched, and he hadn't booked a place, so I was really happy that there was a place for him. I was beginning to think that I'd have to share my room, because I couldn't see him left without a bed. It all worked out. And then he was out early this morning. So I hope he has it some days that aren't too long like that, because you do need a chance to recover. So today was a long run, 38, one of the 3 big runs of 38, second of them, and that is to Burgos. And this morning the running was so different. It was like running through Grisdale Forest, or a bit round where I run normally. It was very familiar running for me. It was quite cool. It was through a nice path in the forest, and it went on and on and on. And I really got a lot of free running today, and I could really feel that I was just running and running and running. I knew that once we got a good 10 kilometres or so from Burgos, I remember it just being very flat and through industrial, and then the outskirts of Burgos. But I was into a rhythm. I didn't really stop today, because I was running quite fast, and I knew that I had a rest day tomorrow. So, well, let me see. I started at about 10 to 8. I was going to call a finish at midday, simply because it got so busy in one of the suburbs, but then it cleared again, so I ran for another 20 minutes, and then was within less than a click of the cathedral, and it got busy again. So I stopped running at about 12, and so that was good. And then I went into the cathedral. I went in one way, but then you weren't allowed in without a ticket. But then they did explain to me there's another way around. There's just a road sweeper coming now, and I can't edit this out. So the reason why they're doing this is they're getting ready for a big celebration this evening for El Cid. So nearby where I am, they've got everything out ready for a big celebration. So they're cleaning. There you go, he's just gone past me now. Shows it's live anyway, doesn't it? So I went to the cathedral. They have an area through another door that is reserved for prayer, which is wonderful. There's a pilgrim mass this evening at 7:30, so I'll be going back there then. I know Michael's going, I think Roy will be going. There'll be a few other pilgrims who are coming to Burgos today who'll get to see them, so it might be a chance that we go out for a meal together afterwards. Then I have a rest day tomorrow, which is good, before we take on the Meseta. So tomorrow I'll explain the different legs of this, but for now, safely here, keeping you in my prayers. Señora del Camino, pray for us.
I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me.